everybody, it's Romania Black, and guess what next week is? The return of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2! It has been a few weeks since we've been on hiatus. It's been fine. We were talking in the Discord, and some people were like, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been that long, and then for others, it seems like it's been an eternity. So, I honestly have been very busy in August. August is one of my busiest months with work, so it has made this hiatus go by very quickly, which has been a good thing. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited to get back into Jujutsu Kaisen next week. So the reason why I'm making this video is for two reasons. One, I had a lot of comments with episodes 4 and 5, a lot to sift through. So thank you to our mods, Be Happy and Plore, for going through those comments. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. But there were a lot to sift through, and I feel like I had so many comments. Some of them were related to the show itself, the plot, and things that will tie into the rest of Season 2. And then a lot of the comments were related to the Board of Gay Yearning and to Gojo and Getou. So I was like, we probably need to address those now while it's still in flashback mode. We've not quite moved back into the present fully. So we'll just do that. But the second reason is I had a lot of people request that I look at the lyrics for the OP and the ED. And I was like, I haven't really looked at them. I mean, I've watched the OP and ED with y'all. You've seen that the last 5 weeks with episodes 1 through 5, but I've not looked at the lyrics. And I had been intentionally waiting to do that until we got out of the flashback core, because I knew we weren't going to be here the entire 23 or so episodes. So yeah, I'm really excited to dive into this and see what we get. I've got the OP and the ED lyrics pulled up. Obviously I'm not going to play the music because copyright and things like that, but I do want to like showcase the lyrics beside this. I have Jamong. Let me see. Jamong is a subscriber. I have his video, and then AOG Music. They're the two that I'm taking these from, and I'll try to include some links down below if I remember. But yeah, I'm super excited. So obviously, before we begin, I want to give a special shout out to our fellow philanthropy tiers over on Patreon. If you want to see next week's video, if you're on YouTube and watching this and you want to see next week's video early, go on to Patreon, but obviously not everybody can do that. That's fine. I appreciate the support on Patreon and YouTube, always, of course. But these members go above and beyond each week to not only support me, but donate extra with their time and courtesy, and I'm super grateful for it. So a special shout out to Anime Annie, to Tyrone, to Dana, to Edgar, to Alex Cornejo, to Be Happy, to Kiri, to Eric, to Shimoyama, to Translucent Min, as well as Sunspots, Anna, Legatus, Goob, Nameless Monster, Shimoyama, Argent, Matthew, Palfinier, and I think I mentioned Goob. But thank you all so much. I'm super grateful for all of your support, and y'all help me. Y'all have been helping me on Patreon get all these fun cosplay things. So thanks to you all, that's why I can do it. So I really appreciate it. All of my love. So yeah, I figured I'd just go through. No big deal. Just go through the lyrics for the OP and the ED. And then we would just cut back and talk about the comments related to Gojo and Getou and just have a nice little preview video before we dive into Season 2 again. I feel like that's fine. My dogs feel like that's fine. So let's do that. So we are going to start by looking at the OP lyrics. Ao no Sumika, which translates to Our Blue, I think. You know. Now, I think people have said that the OP is supposed to be from Gojo's perspective, the ED is from Getou's perspective, which makes sense. We start out, you know, the flashback arc with Gojo changing a lot and developing and growing, and then we end the flashback arc with Getou changing a lot and developing and growing. So it would make sense for that to be the case, right? Would make sense. But we'll just look at it. No big deal. It's fine. We'll just check it out. But we're gonna look at these lyrics here. Let me time myself. Here in 3, 2, 1, and we'll just see what they say and just kind of talk through them with y'all, right? As we go through this. So yeah, it should not be a big deal. Starting out with our lyrical thing, I do like the image of Gojo looking at Getou, right? In a season of endless blue, of course. Yes, of course it's endless. There's nothing to block the front of my eyes. Oh, I'm gonna stop this as we go. That's interesting. So just the idea of this is from Gojo's perspective, not blocking anything in front of his eyes, so he doesn't have his blindfold on. He's looking through very clear lenses in this case in the past. Nice. All right. I'm here for that. Asphalt reflecting the sound of cicadas. Now, of course cicadas would be referring to like summer of youth, springtime. Sometimes there's a sexual connotation with it, depending on the story. Sure, okay, maybe a romantic subtext. Yes, nice. The asphalt reflecting the sounds. Your silence becomes inaudible. Well, I would hope silence becomes inaudible. You know, these days will fade away even if I've come to know your scent different from mine. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Whoa, we're not even 30 seconds into the song, and I was like, wait a minute, scents. Although I will say, in Japanese culture with the anime that I've watched, they're all about scents, like things smelling differently. In America, if you say so that you've been following someone's scent, there is a sexual connotation, like why do you care so much? Why do you care what they smell like so much? Unless it's like BO or something. Okay, all right, in the depths of eternity left behind. Wow, so that could tie to Rico, the idea of eternity left behind. It could refer to the fact that they're not together as friends anymore. It's totally fine. Everything's great. Nothing's wrong so far. Even now blue resides, even now blue remains clear. I like that blue is that representation of halcyon days and the time between them. No matter the prayers or words, though they draw near, they never reach. So it's like no matter what people say to me, it doesn't affect me. It's not reaching me. Okay. It's like a quiet love in the summer, like colors running down my cheeks. Now wait a minute. Hold on. No, it's fine. It's like a quiet love in the summer. Love could refer to many things. It doesn't have to be romantic or sexual. It could be platonic. Yes, of course. Like color running down my cheeks. It could be sweat because it's summer. It could be tears because you're sad of losing a love. I mean, it doesn't have to be a thing. The words that curse you are stuck in the back of my throat. Oh, wow. So then that line there, I mean, it's one Gojo wanting to be mad at Getou and curse him and say, why are you like this? But he can't speak because he doesn't want to be a hypocrite. He can't speak because he doesn't understand exactly how to articulate it. He doesn't curse him in the end when he dies because that's why Getou says you could at least curse me. It's fine. It's fine. Will we meet again? A voice that cannot be heard. Oh, well, I'm sure that they'll meet again in this upcoming season because somehow Getou isn't completely dead. No, I'm sure it's fine. No, you'll meet again, Gojo. Don't worry. And then we have a musical interlude, I'm assuming. Why would you have a musical interlude right after that part? In the muggy season of mid-afternoon, like midway through the story. And it's muggy, so it's not exactly clear. The portrait of us who were still nobodies. Oh, so they're like gaining their powers, and they're like, we weren't as strong as we thought we were. Oh, okay. We were supposed to share everything, but since that day, little by little, oh my God, share everything. We were supposed to be together. But because of Rico's death, the curse of me being different from you grows. Oh, well, yes, we've established that there was probably a little bit of distance and separation from Getou and Gojo because of Gojo getting stronger. But this being self-aware, in hindsight, again, and then there's like an interlude of music where there's nothing, so it just lets that just sink in for you and settle there. The sorrow behind your smile, regretting for what I have overlooked. Oh my God, this is Gojo realizing he fucked up. No, wait. Okay. No, we're fine. And why is there musical interludes? No. It's fine. To you who blooms and scatters like transient flowers, goodbye. You can't. We were doing so well. I mean, even now blue resides, even now blue clear remains. Why are you so sad, Gojo? I mean, I know why you are, no matter the words or prayers that draw near. It's fine. Guys, this is not a love song. It's not a love ballad. It's totally okay. It's just Gojo having feelings about his best friendo that left, that he planned to spend the rest of his days with. Will we meet again? A voice that cannot be heard. I mean, it's natural for him to feel like this, like grains of stars in an infinitely expanding galaxy. It's fine. He's just likening Getou to the starry sky. And if he mentions a moon, I mean, there's no Japanese connotation for the moon equaling romance. spilling through the gaps between my fingers like the sands of time, like the sands of time. Oh, it's fine, guys. It's okay. It's fine. Look, we knew that ballad was going to be about Gojo and possibly regretting or reminiscing about his time with Getou. We knew that was going to be the case, so it's fine. It's perfectly okay. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to go back to the ED now and look at it. This is from Getou's perspective, Akari, and see that. I mean, yes. Okay, we're already starting. It just jumps right into it. Before my goodwill crumbles away. Great start. I should have told you everything. Oh, well, yeah, you should have communicated with him. It's fine. But it's okay, Getou. When the night falls and life unfolds. Wow, like getting to that darkness and everything. A light that blurs my turbid feelings. Yeah, like the candlelight in the scene where he's with the two girls in the jail cell, right? If you can't help but to accept it, even if I knew it was up to that point, like he knew it was going to come, it somehow doesn't feel worth. There's no meaning to it. Oh, don't be apathetic, Getou. Don't be apathetic. It's fine. No, something that seems to be everywhere. Realize that it's only here. Right, like your heart, like it's what you really believe inside of you, right? These lyrics are a little bit more abstract. It's okay to talk nonsense. Show me your blushing face once more. Guys, no, I mean, why would Getou reminisce about Gojo when he's searching the inner depths of his heart? It's fine. It's okay to talk nonsense about your blushing face. Hence the moon. The moon is dark, head in flight. Today, holding an oar. There's nothing to look for. A swaying love that lies hidden. Hence the moon is dark, head in flight. I can't go anywhere today. We talked about moons, but it's fine. Sleep towards a brand new morning. Loneliness under crying. No, Gojo, it's fine to be its troublesome memories. Without a line, our fleeting yesterday has no use at all. Oh my God. It's fine. Though I understand a wounded heart. Why would I end up hurting and leaving the same scars? Like, who would do that? What? I mean, these lyrics aren't labels it as ego grouping it all together. These lyrics are not about Gojo and Getou being together at all, right? And there's no way. The true essence of you and me burning transparently like two candles in the wind. What? But I want to change. My feelings won't change. Only the shape is crumbling. Hope your ghost. Your ghost. Counting the days from loneliness, drowning in a single tear. I mean, if it's trivial, let's just break because I live freely in song. Another night of silly silence. Only I who lives in memories wakes up. I want to touch you. I want to touch you. It's okay to talk nonsense. Show me your blushing face once more. Loneliness under crying. It's fine. It's fine. No worries here. Just an OP and ED that's basically a love letter to these two characters and themselves. It's fine. And damn you, KFC! I went yesterday to my local retailer of fried chicken. And I went up to the cash register and I said, hey, this is a weird question, but I need can I buy the largest bucket that you have? Just buy it. I personally don't like fried chicken. I know I'm not American, but I feel like I'm not American because I don't like fried chicken. I said, I don't want any fried chicken myself. I just want the bucket. And the kid at the register, he was probably like 16. He just looked at me with a very confused look, went back and got his manager. They both looked very confused. And then he came back and he goes, well, I can give you this, this small one. And I said, I will literally pay you money if you give me the largest one you have, because I want it just to be a big prop. And he said, I can't, but I'll give you this. And I said, fine. So instead, I got some ketchup chips in here instead. I got left over. They're infinitely better than fried chicken. Damn it! Those lyrics! What the hell? What the hell, y'all? So essentially, the lyrics for the OP and ED are just a love letter between Gojo and Getou. Why are we not surprised? So I brought back out the Board of Gay Yearning. Rainbow Dragon now included with some caution tape because it's a work in progress. I'm not done with the Board of Gay Yearning, but we've added some things onto it, as we should. Obviously, the Rainbow Dragon has been added, but a couple other things too that we'll talk about with this. But, man, those OP lyrics and ED lyrics, there is no questioning that they are about Gojo and Getou and their relationship with one another. Absolutely. No question whatsoever, which is fascinating to me. So yeah, I do have some comments I want to talk about with the rest of this video, and we're going to tie it into the EO Board of Gay Yearning to go further with this. Isabel, I have to tie it up here. Isabel notes that Getou wears a Gojo Kessa because the word Gojo is in it, according to Gege. Why not? And then Espantapa Juros said that Gojo modified his Jujutsu Kaisen jacket to look like Getou. So it's fine. We're just modifying our clothing to be emblematic of each other. Friends do that all the time. Heterosexual friends do that constantly, right? And then in the movie, I rewatched the movie. Of course, you guys saw the recap last week. But the movie, there's all this sexual tension. I like the idea that Gojo wears the blindfold now so that Getou can't tell when he's using Limitless. It's like, he could wear glasses all the time like this, but then, what do we know, right? So he's wearing, he's wearing the blindfold all the time to hide his eyes. And honestly, rewatching the movie, the first time, knowing that it's the first time these two have seen each other in 10 years, and how connected they were in the flashback arc, and that now after 10 years, a decade, they see each other for the first time, and Gojo is much more formal and kind of serious and like, hey, this could be a problem. And Getou's all like trolly and very much like how Gojo was in the past, and it's kind of reversed. It's wild, right? It's wild. Alexander Q points out that Getou being worried about Nanami's statement from episode 5, in that, this is why it's on the Board of Gay Yearning, in that Gojo could be targeted. That, Getou understands that Gojo seems infallible. He seems completely invincible, but he did lose to Toji. It's only because he activated that ability that saved himself, but he initially lost to Toji, so Getou worried, and it's not just the fact that Gojo, of him losing necessarily, but Getou possibly being worried that my best friend, who I care about more than anybody in the world, is going to be subjected to pain and suffering over and over and over again because society, nobody can match up to him. So let's just he's Superman, let's send him out to go save the day. But then what does that do to Gojo? What's that do to Superman? I'm sure physically he'll be fine, but mentally what is that doing to him? And you can tell it kind of weighs on Getou's mind. So I thought that idea was really, really clever. And then the irony, of course, being that Gojo kills Getou, as far as we know, in the movie, despite being mad that Getou had a death sentence in episode 5. So it's just like the irony of it all, right? It's just absolutely insane. Baron notes that Gojo's technique makes it to where he doesn't get tired. So in the ending of episode 5, he's actually crying. It's fine. We're all good, right? And Gojo in the OP, I thought this was really clever. In the OP, Getou is shown in this maze like Urahime and Mei were, but we established in episode 1 that in order to get out of the maze, you have to be with a partner to help get you through it. Getou's stuck in the maze because he's alone. So there's that. Clara talks about how Gojo always loved treating, that Getou treated him like a person. And that now he wants to become stronger, and then at the KFC breakup, he no longer treats Gojo like a person, but instead a person with emotions, but instead just treats him as someone who's strong. So there is that change of character in how Getou refers to Gojo and treats him, which is really interesting, right? And then Gin had a big old comment here. Gin and Math were my last two comments. They had a wingding of a time. Gin talks about how Gojo's technique for handling trauma is just to repress. Just repress everything. It's fine. It's okay. Just get strong enough to never get hurt again. But in the process of doing that, he ends up neglecting his best friend's pain and leads him to his own spiral. Which, seems kind of similar to another character in Attack on Titan that we probably all know. So that was interesting. Nanami's words in the back of letting the strong protect us, that's also a mentality that's kind of an Attack on Titan as well. But Getou doesn't want to bother Gojo with his problems, so he just lets them push until he snaps, which is, I mean, what can we do, right? Gojo was not with Getou when he snapped on the mission. Would Gojo's presence have made a difference? Would Getou have snapped? Because it's so interesting, whenever Getou shows up and Gojo's with the Star Religious Group and he has Rico, Getou is the one that stops Gojo from potentially snapping and killing them all. And so it's emblematic that they're both together with each other to keep each other in check. But then, because Gojo's so obsessed with strength and getting stronger to protect everybody, he neglects Getou's concerns and his spiral, and then Getou's by himself and no one's there to talk him off the ledge. And he just dives head first and doesn't come back. So that's interesting. And then Gojo becoming someone that lets people choose. Again, another contrast with Getou. Gojo ends up letting Megumi choose. He talks about Rico choosing. He says that choice is very important. Whereas Getou, by the end of episode 5, when he says, monkeys obey me, he's not giving them a choice anymore. He says, you're either going to do what I say, or I'm going to kill you. So there's that contrast there. And then Math, along with Seppi, for the last part about Getou being a curse, we'll touch on that, says, I loved this, and I had to put it up here on the Board of Gay Yearning. We'll get to it in just a second here. The storytelling of Jujutsu Kaisen lends itself that it doesn't tell you everything outright. Gojo and Getou being romantic, it does serve a purpose. Love is the worst curse of all. It goes back to the movie, love is the worst curse. And it's the idea that pairs like Getou and Gojo against pairs like Rika and Yuta in the movie, they are so well thematically structured. And it just ties perfectly into this flashback arc as well. It makes Gojo more relatable to Yuta. It makes his decisions more understandable. It connects to Getou, maybe wishing that he could have been cursed by Gojo like Rika was by Yuta. Could you imagine if Getou had been cursed by Gojo and ended up staying with him till the end of time? Although I know Gojo wouldn't have wanted that to happen, so there's that. And then we have this last quotation by Math up here on the board that says, at this point, it's not a ship. It's a whole island, and everyone not on it are just swimming in a sea of delusion and denial. So, I think at this point, as we go back into the present, Gojo is going to get out his ketchup chips, keep them there because he's going to keep growing, and then say, F you! KFC. And just continue to be Gojo, and I'm just going to continue to ship him till his season is over. I do think at this point it's going to be interesting going back into season 2 because we've established that Getou died in the movie. He did, but he not did because he's been in season 1. So there is that mystery of, okay, has he been brought back from the dead? Is he a zombie? Is he being controlled by a curse? What is causing Getou to still function, right? The fact that Getou is working with Mahito, who is a curse, with other curses and reviving curses, like he did with the brothers at the end of season 1, lends me to think that there is a curse involved in Getou right now. I mean, Getou has consumed a number of curses. Who's to say that one of the curses that Getou ate didn't take control of his corpse? That could very well be the case, right? I mean, do I think that Gojo killed him? It seems that way. They're going to great lengths to not let Gojo know that Getou is back, even though in season 1 I think Gojo kind of has suspicions and is like, how is this possible? But at the same time, it's like, well, how is that? How is that, you know? Getou, I don't think Gojo would have just left him hanging and left him alive. So my theory at this point is either his body was taken by the curses, by a curse user. Somebody picked up his corpse or stole his corpse, and they've like got some kind of resurrection ability with their curse technique. Their curse technique is some kind of resurrection ability that lets them like revive someone, but there's a price to pay, like they're revived but they're not themselves, because he has like the lobotomy, like the Frankenstein over his head like in season 1. So either Getou has been revived by a cursed user and is being like a zombie, but he's pretty coherent. Like he's not like a zombie, like he's mindless. He's smart and intelligent. Or one of the curses that Getou ate took over his corpse after he died. Like it was a curse that could manipulate corpses and take them over. That's my theory. That's creepy. And if we see Getou and Gojo face each other in season 2, knowing that Gojo has all of these feelings towards Getou and all of this unresolved, because let's be real, like the image that was at the front of the OP, you guys probably didn't see it, but you can see it in the link down below. Gojo has always cared about Getou. And I feel like Gojo, it's a little bit more one-sided of Gojo loving Getou than Getou loving Gojo. I think Getou loved Gojo, but I feel like Getou had a lot of guilt and angst and like insecurities about it, where Gojo was just like, love him, rainbows, rainbow dragon, rainbow OP, all the things. And then he lost him and he's not like had full closure with it. So, but yeah, y'all. Thank you for watching this madness. Thank you for watching this madness. I had to get this out of my system now and test out my Gojo cosplay before next week. I'll probably dress up as Gojo for next week. Probably. Because we're starting off, right? Start off on a good foot, right? I'll probably dress up as Gojo, but don't worry, I won't be wearing the glasses during the reaction, because somebody commented about that with one of the other characters, being like, if you'd wore those glasses or a blindfold, that would have been ridiculous. And I was like, yes, that would have. But I'll probably wear this next week, but I'm so excited to be back with season 2. Cannot tell y'all. I'm so ready. So I'm curious to know your thoughts down below, but in the meantime, I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'm gonna just chill out with Gojo and eat some ketchup chips and prepare for episode 6 of Jujutsu Kaisen.